Hi everyone, it's Heather from True North Spirit Medicine. How are you going today? Today I'm going to be doing the monthly energy reading for October 2023. I nearly got it wrong then. How have you been? I was talking to a friend the other day and we were both talking about how much stuff came up in September. There's a lot of heaviness, a lot of negativity, a lot of clearing out of the old. They're showing me in my mind that Tupperware cupboard, you know, sort of metaphor or whatever it is that we talk about, you know, where you make a mess before you tidy it all up, and you've got to let go of things and, you know, all the rest of it. So it feels like there's been quite a lot of that going on in the collective in the last month in particular. Yeah, a lot of shedding of old skins as well, shedding old ways of being, old ways of seeing in the world, which is kind of, can be, you know, sad. And I think they reminded me, we talked about the grief of endings at the end of last month's video. But it's also really exciting because it means that there's new coming in. You know, nature abhors a vacuum, so nothing's ever left empty for long. So if you are letting go of old friendships or relationships or clutter in your home or workplaces that no longer serve you or whatever it is, roles that no longer serve you as well, like self-imposed roles that you've given to yourself or you've put on yourself, just know that new things will come in. And they're saying now new things will come in quite rapidly. You know, it's almost, you sort of get a bit, you know, head spinny, dizzy, like on one of those, you know, rides at the Echo or the, you know, your local show or fair, or, you know, spinny rides kind of thing. Yeah, changes can be so fast that your head might spin. But it's a good way, like it's sort of laughter in a dizzy roller coaster kind of way. That's if you like roller coasters, of course. Okay, so today I've got... Actually, I pulled a couple of decks out of the cupboard because I wasn't 100% sure which ones to use. So I've got two on my little table and actually another two just to hand in case I add some more. And I wasn't 100% sure about using the Work Your Light ones, but I just shuffled and drew a card before I turned the camera on, and it seems really apt. So I'm going to go with that deck as well. And I think I'm going to be brave and use my brand new deck. I really should stop shopping online for other people's presents, because then I go, oh, that one's pretty, I'll buy it for myself. So I did. And for us, it's for us, I'm sharing. I feel like I'm in a silly mood today, which is good. So I bought a new deck. It's called Keepers of the Light Oracle Cards by Kyle Gray, artwork by Lily Moses. Yeah, I've been hearing about this deck. Anyway, it caught my eye and I bought it and I'm going to use it. So I've been using it throughout the month just to see how I, you know, vibed with it, and I quite like it. So I just paused the video because the other phone was ringing in the other room. So I just waited. And then while I was waiting, I shuffled and dealt our cards for us today. So I've got 4 cards altogether, 3 from the new Keepers of the Light Oracle deck, and 1 from, which is the one I drew just before we started, 1 from the Rebecca Campbell deck called Work Your Light Oracle Cards, artwork by Danielle Knoll. This one kind of jumped out at me. I was just going to use the Keepers of the Light deck, but then this one kind of jumped out at me. Something in particular about these two decks, both being very high vibration, and they both got light in the title. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, so I will go through the cards as we progress through the video, and I'll drop the images in as we go. And I will then post the individual cards up on my socials a couple of days after the video comes out, so you can have a closer look at each of them there if you want. Because often there's details in there that I don't talk about, because I just go with what they tell me to talk about for each card. And especially if the deck's new to me, I don't always see all of the details at first. And sometimes it's not until I'm uploading them that I'll see, they didn't talk about that bit. And they're just reminding us here too that because these readings are for you, as well as for myself, but they're for you. So you might, when you're looking at these cards, either within the video itself here or later, excuse me, or later in the, on my social media pages, you might see things in there that we didn't talk about. Sorry, I just noticed my hair was in the microphone. I'm not used to having a lapel mic, so sorry about that. Hope it wasn't too scrunchy crunchy beforehand. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So you might see something in the cards that me or them, our spiritual team, the Council of Elders or whatever didn't talk about, but it feels relevant for you, or you get messages for yourself coming up. When you look at them, or the color reminds you of something, and that's valid. That's as valid as what it is that we're delivering here. Yeah, so don't discount that just because we didn't talk about it. Okay, they just dropped that in as being important. Okay, so we're going to get on with the channel, and we'll see what they have to say today. I'm quite excited. Don't know why yet. We'll see. Okay. Greetings, dear ones, and thank you for joining us here again today. And indeed, Heather is excited, and rightfully so. For it is more celebrations that we bring for you today. We remind you of the golden stars that we spoke of last month, and we hope and we trust that you did see your own little golden stars throughout the month. We know that Heather did, and each time it made her smile. To know that we were watching out for her and celebrating with her, just as we were watching out for you and celebrating with you throughout the month. For indeed we are multi-dimensional beings, as you are yourselves, as you all are yourselves. It is not the day for a lesson in quantum mechanics, my friends. It is a day for love and trust and kindness and the growth that comes through healing. For that is what we wish to speak of today. The green Tara, the fertile, fecund, beautiful, blossoming, green soils from which the plants grow is what we want to talk about. And the beautiful green plants that are growing are you, my friends. As you discard and you delete and you declutter and you let go of all that no longer serves you in many and varied ways, we are indeed helping you to plant the new seeds for the new earth and the new beginnings. And for this coming calendar month of yours, there is indeed a grand deal of space for a lot of new. There are some special planetary alignments midway through the month which herald a new doorway for each of you to step into a new self, collective and individual. And we ask that you step into this collective, individual and individual self with as open a heart as possible. It is the perfect time to practice dropping into your heart, my dear friends, if you are not sure how to do it or what we mean. Before any decision, be it small or large, we ask you to take a moment, take pause, take a breath, feel into your heart space, place your hand on your heart if that helps you, and just see what feels correct for you at that time. It is as though we are showing you a pathway, and one path goes left and one path goes right, and you are standing at that crossroads. Sometimes you could lean into one and see what that feels like, or lean into the other and see what that feels like. And we can guarantee that one will feel lighter and brighter than the other. One may feel more interesting or more challenging or more correct on the surface, but when you feel into it, when you lean into it, just a little way into the future, if you imagine it, it might not feel as shiny or sparkly as the other. It might in fact feel heavy or darker, or seem like there is rocks and pebbles and stones in the pathway. Whereas you lean into the other, you'll notice that it feels more like a yes rather than a no. You might notice that it feels more light and bright than the other. You might feel a little way further into that decision that you are making, and sense and smell sometimes the flowers and the blossoms and the fertility that is to come down that path that says yes for you rather than no for you. It is a powerful and simple technique, my friends, that you may use whenever you choose, whether it is deciding which oranges to buy at the supermarket or what to cook for dinner, or which career decision or relationship decision to make. For to us they are all the same, these choices that you have before you. They are all the same energetically is what we mean, my friends. Of course, buying oranges versus starting a new career are very different things. But in terms of what feels right and what does not feel right, they are the same, my friends. And as our dear friend Abraham says through his friend Esther, it is the same to manifest a button or a castle. The energetics, the mathematics, the quantum mechanics, if you will, of these events are the same. For you, one thing is small, a button, and the other is large, a castle. But for us, on the other side of the veil, in this higher frequency where we sit, it is the same. You can manifest a button as easily as you can a castle. You can feel into a no as much as you can feel into a yes, regardless of what the decision is about, my friends. And it is this we ask you to practice, particularly this month of October. Feeling into what is right for you and feeling into what is wrong for you. They are incredibly valuable skills to develop, my friends. And if you are not practiced in this art of inner divination, my friends, it is a great, great time to start. For your intuition will get louder and clearer as time moves forward. And to be already tuned into the higher frequency and to your own heart and your own pineal, coupled with your own wisdom of your brain, that holy trifecta, if you will, is the greatest tool you can have in your toolkit, my friends. And we wish for all of the tools in your toolkit to be sharpened like a great knife. For a sharp knife when you are cutting an apple or a tomato is indeed a gift. And we wish your gifts in your toolbox, so to speak, should all be shiny and sharp, or smooth and soft and ready for use is our point, my friends. Ready for use. Heather is reminding us of a saying which goes along the lines of, do not let the first time you use a compass be when you are lost. And we feel that this is fabulous advice for you, my friends. So if you have not already, then start practicing these yes-nos of your intuition on a daily basis. And just like anything, if you practice it daily, it will become easier and easier until it is as automatic to you as walking down the street or any other activity that you do not have to think about much. We leave you with this homework, my friends. Connect to your heart as much as you can. Make decisions from your heart as much as you can. And remember that we are here to hold your hands every step of the way. for we love you dearly. We anticipate your success, and we will speak to you again very soon. And so it is. Ta-da! Nice. And it's funny, I really wanted to wear green today. And the whole time they were talking about the healing and the heart stuff, all I could see was this beautiful, like, stunning emerald green colour. It's like I was surrounded in green light, and so were you. It was really nice. I'll open my eyes in a minute, I promise. It's just so lovely. Nice. I had to pause a few times. You'll see a few little edits in that channel, and it's because there was extraneous noise in the neighborhood, and it's a bit warm, so I left the windows open so you could hear. There's a like a light airfield nearby, and sometimes depending on the direction of the wind. Why is it flashing at me? Okay, hi, I'm back. That was a funny little interlude. The screen was flashing things at me, and I thought the battery was going flat, even though I charged it, so I got the extension cord. Anyway, it turns out the memory card was full. So I've deleted some stuff, tied my hair up so I was out of the microphone. All sorts of things happened then. Little minor miracle, I did not drop the microphone into my glass of water, so that's a bonus. Okay, so the cards. So we have 3 from the new, or my new, Keepers of the Light Oracle deck by Kyle Gray, and 1 from Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. And the first card that we're going to talk about is Green Tara. So when they were doing that first channel and they were talking about the green healing energy, and I was laughing because I really wanted to wear green today, and they were showing me that beautiful emerald green light that I told you about at the end of the channel. The whole time I was really aware that this, well, I was going to say last card, because it was actually the last card that I drew, but it's the first card that I'm going to read. And actually, that's right. When I was shuffling, it literally flew out of the deck at me, and I was kind of glad the camera wasn't on, because I had to like scramble onto the floor to pick it up. Anyway, it's Green Tara. It says supreme protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation. Trust. And it's got a beautiful image of Green Tara, and she's got lovely flowers in her hair and on her dress, and yeah, she's lovely. Supreme protection. I'll drop the card in so you can have a look at it. And I'm just asking what they want to say about it. They're showing me all the flowers in her hair and around her head and at her breast and on her dress. And they're reminding us of the bit in the channel they were just talking about, that sort of fertile soil and the level of support there is for you in this time of new growth, this upcoming season of new growth. Doesn't matter what geographical season that you're in. I'm in the southern hemisphere in southeast Queensland, so we're in spring and coming into summer, and obviously it's the opposite in the northern hemisphere where they're in autumn and going into winter. And actually, when they were talking about all that sort of decluttering and letting go part in the channel, they were showing me like autumn leaves falling. And a meme I saw on Facebook the other day of a friend of mine who lives in California, she put up this post that said something like autumn is the fall, they call it fall, autumn is the time when the leaves fall off the trees, and it, you know, they turn those beautiful colors, reds and oranges and yellows and golds. And it said something like the autumn, fall is the time when nature shows us how beautiful it is to let things go. I thought that was quite lovely, and they brought that up into my mind when I was channeling just now. But either way, there is an eclipse. I was going to say new moon eclipse. That was a new moon eclipse. I think it's a new moon eclipse, solar eclipse in the middle of this month, in the middle of October, which is a great doorway for new things. So particularly from the beginning of this, from the middle of this month onwards, there's going to be huge opportunities for new growth, new loves, new relationships, new everything, new ways of being and seeing and doing in the world, which is quite exciting. And this green Tara card is here to remind us all of that beautiful, fecund, fertile growth that comes with the spring energy, even if you're not going into spring, or even if you're not in spring itself. So that's kind of nice. Okay, next card, Lady Portia, Divine Order. Do what you this is exactly what they were just talking about. That's funny. Do what you feel is right, and the next sentence says an important lesson is unfolding. Lady Portia, Divine Order. So that first sentence, do what you feel is right. Excuse me, that's quite funny, because that's literally exactly what they were talking about. I was going to say coaching us through in the second part of that first channel about, what feels right to you, what doesn't feel right to you, which path feels better, essentially. And it is a really good skill to develop if you haven't already, or to remind yourself of if it's something that you haven't used for a while. And there's a technique, I don't know what it's called. It probably has a name. I call it the body lean. Because it's kind of what you do, but it's basically where you use your body like a pendulum, like when you use a pendulum. Yeah, so you can kind of lean into things. Does this feel right to me? Does this not feel right to me? And you can set directions like you do with the pendulum. You can get more involved than a simple yes no. But while they were describing for you that, feel into each pathway, each decision you have to make, whether which direction or decision feels better for you, I was very much reminded of that, that feeling of leaning into something or leaning away from something if it doesn't feel right to you. So this Lady Portia card is reminding us of that. Oh, funny. And they're pointing out now how purple is complementary to green. So we hold them up together and they look nice together. And at the same time, they're pointing out my background here, which is essentially the same colours, that sort of teal, aqua green, and the purple, and that I'm wearing green as well. So, we're all matching. That's funny. They're saying complementary. It's complementary. This kind of feeling into what feels right for you in any given moment, plus that sort of divine guidance, divine order. They're complementary. They sit together. They go together. They're saying it's like tomato and basil. They go together. Everybody knows that. Do you know what I mean? That's quite funny. Yeah. Okay. So the next one, I'm not sure. It's Babaji. They've got his full name here, so I'm going to try and pronounce it. Mahavatar Babaji. It's Babaji. Soul expansion. It says, your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. Soul expansion. And it's a beautiful image of Babaji, and he's got lovely, lovely, lovely indigo blue colour on him. So he's wearing that colour, and he's got the Om symbol at his throat. And behind him is that beautiful indigo colour with stars and some sacred geometry as well, which is nice. Soul expansion, Babaji. Beautiful. I like the artwork in these cards. It's Lily Moses. She's done I don't know if she does all his decks, but the couple of Kyle Gray decks that I have, that Lily Moses has done the artwork, and I like it. Okay. Babaji. They're talking about they're going to say something specific about that card, but they're talking about the flow of the energy between these three cards. So we've got Green Tara, Lady Portia, and Babaji. So it's protection. You are being protected. Cut the cords and move beyond any limitations that you've set on yourself or others. divine order. What does it say? Do what you feel is right. And then soul expansion, your universe, your consciousness is expanding, and you understand the connection between all things. And that's really important, and that's really interesting, because at the same time I was feeling into what else they wanted to say about the soul expansion, a higher awareness of unity consciousness. Basically, they showed me the blue of this card married with the blue of this book. So I've been reading this book on and off for a while. It's Lynn McTaggart's excellent book called The Field. The subtitle is The Quest for the Secret Force of the Universe. Lynn McTaggart is an investigative journalist, and this book is fantastic. And it's interesting, like, I didn't know why I wanted to bring it with me to this table, but it's been sitting with me at this table, or on this table, the whole time. And I was going to mention it when I said, you know, I had these 2 decks of cards and 2 decks on the floor, because I wasn't sure if I was going to use the herbal cards or the mushroom cards today as well. And there was a slight pause, and I nearly mentioned the book, and I thought I won't mention it because I might not use it. But here it is, and it's the same blue, see? So they're talking about the interconnectedness of all things, and what they're talking about here is the quantum field, or it's also known as the 0 point field. And in that 0 point field, which is measurable by Newtonian scientific methodology, it's just not in our mainstream, I was going to say consciousness, but it kind of is, because it's a part of everything. It's not in our mainstream awareness. It's not in our mainstream media. It's not in our mainstream science textbooks even, you know. And I was going to say remember, but you might not know that I did originally train as a science teacher. So I have a background in this side of things, which is why I like the nerdy metaphysical side of things, because it resonates deeply with me, and it makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, so even though it's not kind of publicly acknowledged, it's scientifically acknowledged. Do you know what I mean? I think mainstream science is measured, last time I checked, it was something like 27 dimensions. So cutting edge scientists by now probably would have measured more, yet still we talk about 3 dimensions, you know, and that's not even counting the 4th, which is time, you know. So we sort of think we're sort of bumbling around in 3D, when we're not. You know, there's you know, hundreds of dimensions, they're telling me, hundreds. And our mainstream science has measured, you know, not even 30. And we still think we're in 3. So there's that. They're showing me all the gold stars of last month, and how we were talking about celebrations and leveling up, and they're saying part of the sort of leveling up of us as individuals within this grander soup of consciousness is this expanded awareness, as Babaji says, this expanded awareness of unity consciousness. Okay, it's where your gut instinct comes from. It's where everything is manifest from. It's full of love and joy and compassion and benevolence and, you know, that cheer squad that wants you to succeed. That's what's in the void. That's what's in the field. It's a soup of potentials. You know, you I was going to say you all know, but you might not know, you know, how particles of light change whether they're being observed or not. So if nobody's looking, they look like a wave, and if somebody's looking, they look like a particle, or the other way around. I can't quite remember. I think that's right. Anyway, they look different whether you're watching or not. Whether you're watching them or not, it alters the way that light behaves. Okay, and that's a fundamental understanding of quantum mechanics. It confuses the hell out of traditional scientists, but that's how light works, right? It's a multidimensional thing, force, element, or whatever of our universe, you know. And we are made of light, remember? See, it's the 2 decks of the light cards that I had to use today. Okay, I feel like there's a whole bunch more to say about this kind of work, but I feel like what we're doing here is sort of just introducing you to it. If you don't know about this stuff yet, or you already know about it, hurrah, well done, carry on. Maybe these are good reminders for you to remember how powerful you are. And if you're just learning, welcome. I highly recommend this book. It's fantastic. I'm just asking if they want to say anything else about this card, and they're saying no, it's really just the intro. The colours of those two, that's really interesting. That beautiful indigo blue with the stars. I like it. You are made of light. You are made of light. You are light. So it's light communicating with light. You know, don't be afraid of the field. Don't be afraid of something called the void. Don't be afraid of the 0 point field if you've never heard of it. Like, it's all the same thing. And all the same thing is light, and all the same thing is love. You know. It's like when you go swimming in the ocean, you know, and it's safe and calm and easy. You wouldn't be afraid of one little drop of water, would you? You know. So it's the same. You don't need to be afraid of it. There's a strong recommendation here to embrace it. You know, embrace your interconnectedness with all things. You deserve it. You're not contributing anything negative to it, because that's kind of impossible. It's like that. Is it a Gandhi saying, or it's like one drop doesn't pollute the ocean? Like, if you think, oh, I'm too dirty, or I'm, you know, unworthy, or I had a negative thought about so-and-so yesterday, therefore I don't deserve love, or, you know, my parents told me I was useless, or whatever it is, whatever personal baggage you might come to the table with and think that you are unworthy or undeserving. They want you to know that it's impossible They want you to know that it's not possible to contaminate or pollute this beautiful sea of love. It's impossible, you know. And in a way, it's sort of impossible not to receive from it as well, because like light is part of air. That's really interesting. I've never thought of that before. Oh, that's really interesting. I feel like there's a lot more to that. That'll be interesting to explore. I don't know what that means. I've never thought that, or said that, or heard or read or anything about that before, ever. Light being a part of air. That's really interesting. So basically what they're showing me is that you breathe in light. So every breath that you take is full of light. So it's like being afraid of breathing. You know, they're trying to simplify things so that, you know, how to help us declutter our sense of unworthiness if we have that in ourselves, because you are deserving to sit at this table with us. You are deserving to breathe air. You are deserving to swim in this beautiful ocean full of love and light. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. It doesn't matter what you're afraid of in the future. You deserve this. Okay? You really, really, really do. Believe us. Pat yourselves on the back, you know, like you've done well to still be here and still be on board with all of this stuff. You wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't. Okay? We're holding your hand, we're holding your hand, we're holding your hand. Yeah? Yay! And it's getting better. I was going to say it's going to get better, but they're bringing us back and showing us all these beautiful flowers in the new growth that's coming. Okay? So I feel like there's, particularly at this solar eclipse that's happening middle of October, so if you have been feeling like any of the heaviness or being the brunt of some of other people's negativity and stuff in the last month or so, I feel like there's a really big page turning moment coming around that solar eclipse time, so the middle of October. So if you're struggling to see the light at the moment, don't worry, it's there and it will get brighter. It will get brighter. It is getting brighter. It is already bright. You might just have your sunglasses on inside. Take your sunnies off, people. Okay, so lots of flowers, okay, lots of joy, lots of fertile soil, and ask for it, okay? If you're not seeing it, I don't know who we're talking to here, but I feel like this is important to say. If you're not seeing the hope and joy and love and laughter, and you're not feeling on top of the wave, and ask. Okay, sometimes when I've felt really down or low or whatever, and I can't think straight to ask for assistance, what I will ask for is, please show me hope. okay, because I realize that's what I need, because I'm feeling a bit blur. So I'm like, please show me hope. And guaranteed, anytime I've done that, within, you know, minutes, days, hours, or whatever, I see something quite beautiful, whether it's a lovely double rainbow, or this morning I was watering the garden because it's really dry here, and there was butterflies dancing around the hose because they want to drink too, you know. You know, you'll see something that makes your heart smile. Yeah, you got to ask. Well, you don't have to ask, they'll show it to you anyway, but it's good if you ask. Yeah, I think that makes sense, right? Okay, last card. So this is the one from Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle deck, artwork by Danielle Knoll. And it says, The Age of Light. Of course it is. And it says, you've been training for these times. Of course you have. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. You know, these are extraordinary times, so we are extraordinary humans. Yeah, so this card has a lovely image of a woman who, she kind of, I don't think she is, but she kind of reminds me of like an Egyptian goddess kind of feel to her. She's got her arms up and holding her hands in a triangle shape, and she's standing within a beautiful sort of triangle made of light with these lovely sort of rocks and things behind her. It feels very ancient and very wise and very I want to say ancestral, and I'm feeling like, and I want to say ancestors of light here. That's interesting. The Age of Light. You've been training for these. Oh, you've been training for these. Yeah, sorry. You've been training for this for lifetimes. I actually read that incorrectly. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Still correct. Yeah, lovely image, hey? There's a lot in here. I think I've used this deck with you before, but not for a while. The Age of Light. It's lovely. And again, they're bringing up this book. I obviously get no affiliation, blah, 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 from the lovely Lynn McTaggart. Yeah, there's a lot of really good information in there. The Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. And indeed you have, my friends. For this is not your first walk around the neighborhood, shall we say. You are all old souls, which simply means that you have been here before and been here before and been here before. You have chosen many, many times over many, many lifetimes to incarnate onto this beautiful earth that we sit upon today. And through all of those lifetimes, some of them in the dark, so to speak, like the roots of a lotus flower deep in the mud, and some of them reaching up for the light, and some of them blossoming and being the king or queen of your realm, so to speak. And some of them, my friends, some of them, like this one, this lifetime you are in, this special, special time that you are in, of the crossing of the great galactic plane, with our new beautiful radiation that shows up as dances of light in the aurora in the sky, with this new energy where you no longer have to pass away to level up, to this new energy of the shifting of the consciousness of humanity as a whole to a higher plane of existence. For New Earth is not a new geography, a new location, a new planet. New Earth is a new frequency, a new bandwidth, a new vibration. And all of that can be heralded in faster and smoother and easier and with more joy and love and gratitude with your help, my friends. So as we counseled earlier, stay in your heart. Does this feel right to me? Does this feel wrong to me? And know in your hearts, my friends, that those decisions that feel right to you feel right to all of us as well. And we will become like the wind at your back, blowing you, nudging you, assisting you, holding your hands towards the new directions, the new decisions, the new light, the new loves, the new friendships, the new creativity, the new ways of seeing and being and doing in the world. Knowing that every breath that you take that is indeed full of light brings you closer and closer to your heart and closer to us. And we are the ones that are full of love. So we invite you to skip merrily down the pathway towards your future, my friends. And this indeed is a beautiful vision for you to behold, like Dorothy down the fabled golden pathway, the yellow brick road, as they called it. And if you are unsure about what is to come in your future, we invite you to use this vision to help us and help yourself to step easily and gladly and lightly into it. Just imagine a beautiful golden pathway of your own. Easy steps leading you forward. Plant your own flowers at the side. Add a beautiful rainbow if you like. See us as your cheer squad, lining the pathway, cheering you on, offering you gifts of food and water and assistance along the way if you wish. Or see a beautiful fecund green field laying before you with a simple pathway through it, straight and true, easy to follow, well lit. For this is your collective and individual future destiny, my friends. We want you to succeed. We really, truly do. And we know in your hearts, each of you really wants to succeed as well. To be healthy and happy and joyous, connected in your futures. And we are here to help you with that, my friends. That is our job, and we do it gladly. It is a great time for rest. It is a great time for hydration. And it is a great time for celebration. We will join you in all of these things. We will gift you with all of these things. And we thank you once again for sitting at our table with us. And we will speak to you again soon with so much love. And so it is. Oh, that's so nice. I like it when they drop in again. It's quite lovely. Okay. Thank you for joining in and following along and doing the do. I might leave it there. I like it when they do the sign off as well. Yeah, thanks. I hope that's helped. I feel like it's going to be an interesting month, and there's a real sense of just, you know, if you're struggling, just hang on. It's going to get heaps easier right around the middle of the month, you know. Yeah, take good care of yourselves. Drink extra water with all this, you know, solar flares, extra auroras, you know, blah 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 happening. I've been really tired and really thirsty lately. I don't know about you. So make that okay, you know, for yourself. Like, drink extra water if you're thirsty and rest if you're tired. Make time for that. Go to bed early or whatever it is you need to do. Yeah. Take after yourself? No. Look after yourself and take care. Take after yourself. No, look after yourself. All right. yeah, I've probably got things, marketing, blah, blah, I'm supposed to say, but I can't remember what any of it is. Like the video. If you've liked it, share it with anyone that you think might benefit from it. Thanks for following along. It's nice to have you on board, and I will speak to you again soon. Take care. Much love. Bye.